He is entering his 17th season as a head coach. He is the recipient of 3 National Coach of the Year awards. He was the 2019 Pac12 Coach of the Year. 11 bowl wins ties him for third among active coaches. Utah is number 24 in the preseason AP poll, and they open up Thursday night. Kyle Whittingham is my guest. Kyle, it's good to have you back. How are you?
Doing good, Jim. Thank you.
Good. Thanks for doing it. So we're less than a week away from your season opener. I'm curious, how is your camp gone, and how does it feel to be 6 days away from kicking off against an opponent?
Well, camp went very well, and you're right, the season's right around the corner, and it was really a breath of fresh air for when you consider what we went through last year. You know, last year was miserable, and trying to piece things together and to have some sense of normalcy was a very positive thing.
Last year was miserable, Kyle. So the team released its depth chart yesterday. Charlie Brewer is listed as the starting quarterback. What have you seen from him in camp so far?
Well, Charlie had a great spring, first of all. He transferred in at mid-year, had a terrific spring, picked up right where he left off in fall camp, and was doing the things that we hoped he would do when we got him here. You know, he was a very accurate passer at Baylor and threw for a ton of yards, and when we came here, he just kept doing the same thing, and so he was exactly what we were expecting. Had a great battle with Cam Rising during fall camp. Cam was not available in spring ball. He was coming off an injury from last season, a very significant injury, and so we owed it to Cam to give him every opportunity to win the job this fall. They competed, and Charlie came out on top.
Kyle Whittingham is my guest, and for those who do not know, he's from Baylor. He already started 39 games and has thrown for nearly 10,000 yards, so obviously there's some great value in somebody showing up who's got that kind of experience and maturity. Earlier in camp, Kyle, you made the point, quote, "We have no shortage of leadership on this team. It feels a lot like the 19 team in a lot of regards," end of quote. I mean, that's really high praise given what that 2019 team did. So what have you seen from this group that reminds you of the leadership of that 19 team?
Well, first of all, the seniors have taken complete ownership of what we're doing, and them plus we got a lot of juniors that should have been seniors by now with the COVID freeze, and so we got, like everyone else in the country, everything got backed up a year. But we feel like we have great buy-in from our entire team, and like I said, the upperclassmen have really taken charge, and I've never been around a great football team that didn't have great ownership from the upperclassmen, and so we're hoping that that will give us the results that we had in 19, and then as well we have a lot of talented kids, and this is a younger team than we had in 19. We have I think 65 of our 85 scholarships are kids that are sophomores or freshmen, and so it's a lot of youth, but a lot of good talent in those classes.
Kyle Whittingham, my guest. I was going to make that point too. You do have a lot of freshmen and a lot of sophomores and a great deal of youth. So that being said, talking to you in the past, Kyle, I know the standard is the standard. The expectations do not change. But do you and the staff change the approach a little bit when you have a team that's that young, or do you approach everything the exact same way regardless?
Pretty much the same way, and the team being young on paper, it's not as young in reality due to the guys that are listed as true freshmen actually have been here for a year, and so it's not completely as young as it might appear at face value, but no, we go about our business. We have a process that we adhere to, and the expectations in the program don't change much, and we are just doing our thing and moving ahead.
Talking to Kyle Whittingham, Utah head football coach. An opposing coach told The Athletic that your tight end, Brandonkeithy, is, quote, "a problem for everyone. He's a really challenging player to match up against. They line up in traditional 12 personnel formations, but they can do a lot to spread element schemes from it, and they'll use him as a fly motion threat, split him out a slot, single him up as an X receiver," end of quote. I mean, how valuable is it to have a guy like that who's a matchup nightmare in so many different spots on the field?
Well, he's a great weapon for us, and once the ball's in his hands, he's a real playmaker. I mean, he was a running back in high school, ran for a ton of yards. We made the transition to the U-back position, is what we call it. And with Brant, and you add Cole Fotheringham and Dalton Kincaid, our other two tight ends, we have a trio of tight ends that we think are exceptional and among the best in the country. And Dalton Kincaid might be the best kept secret in the Pac-12. I look for him to have a really big year. But back to Brant, he is a guy that we can move around a bunch of different locations, put him in the backfield, split him out at wide out, like you mentioned, and you're going to see him doing a bunch of those things this year.
Kyle Whittingham, my guest. So earlier this month, the team got to see the new locker room. What was that experience like for everybody involved?
It was awesome. I mean, it was long overdue. We'd had a south end zone that was getting pretty old, and so it was a great addition to the stadium, an already phenomenal stadium, and just makes it even that much better. The kids, our players, were really excited about the locker room and everything that comes with it. It's not only locker room, but recruiting space, restaurant, all that type of thing. So it'll be a great recruiting tool as well. But for right now, our players are very deserving of it, and it's kind of the finishing touch, I guess you could say, on the stadium.
Kyle, on top of that, there's a locker for Ty Jordan, the Pac-12 Offensive Freshman of the Year last season, who tragically passed away in December. For those who are listening and did not get the chance to know him, how would you describe him?
Ty Jordan was a special young man. Played the game like it's supposed to be played, with unbelievable passion, energy. He was just a guy that loved to practice. I mean, he loved everything about it. And the type of kid that when he walked into a room, his smile would just light up the entire room. And he's only with us for a short time, but he made a huge impact on our program and on our players. And obviously we're all devastated at his loss, and we're going to be honoring him in several different ways this season. But Ty meant so much to us and made such an impact in the short time that he was here.
Kyle Whittingham, my guest for a few more moments. Kyle, from the outside, it strikes me that you're as hungry and as focused and as locked in as you've ever been. Being a head football coach at a major program is a major meat grinder. It wears guys down. I know that you do what you can to stay really fresh and focused, maybe go skiing a little bit to unplug. But how do you manage to not get beaten down by all the work that comes with that job and the expectations?
Well, I don't see it as work. I just love it, and as long as I'm enjoying it, I'm going to keep doing it. And you're right. It's been a long haul. 17 years as the head coach, and of course I've referenced this before. But when we went to the Pac-12 10, 11 years ago, it was very rejuvenating and much like getting a new job. I mean, it was new challenges and a whole different set of circumstances as far as recruiting and facilities and budget and staff and everything that comes with it. So it's been a great ride, great adventure, and great challenge. And as long as I'm enjoying it like I am, I'm going to keep doing it.
All right, so in terms of the conference itself, you just mentioned that. The Pac-12 announced yesterday that it does not plan to expand. I know you're focused on the work that's right in front of you, but what was your reaction to that particular announcement?
I think that was what I expected. It was, I didn't think that it would, come out anything different than that. And I think there's still a lot of change that's going to happen in college football, and I think right now would be a little bit premature to expand. And I think our commissioner handled it just right, and we'll see what happens when things start to settle down a little bit.
Kyle, I want to ask you something before you go about what one Pac-12 coach told Athlon about you in the program. Quote, "They're the most physical team in the conference every single year now. They're one of the meanest in the game. This is all Whit. It's his mindset. It's his attitude. Mental toughness is a cliche, but Whit has those guys ready." I'm really curious. Like, to me, personally speaking, off the cuff, Kyle, I think that mental toughness is the single most important attribute anybody can have in any walk of life if they want to accomplish anything at all. So in your opinion, how do you go about developing and improving mental toughness, generally speaking?
Well, first of all, we start in recruiting. We're looking for mentally tough guys, competitive guys, and that's a big part of our vetting process is getting those guys that have that makeup. And then once they get here, we just hold them accountable, and they become us. We don't become them. That's one of our mantras, and it just perpetuates itself. I mean, you get in this program and you learn the Utah way and how we do things, and the expectations are not going to change, and you're going to either come to the party or you won't last, and that's kind of the way we handle things. And I'm with you as far as the mental toughness aspect being a huge part of success, not only in football but in life in general.
All right, so really quickly, how would you define or describe the Utah way?
Utah way, blue collar, come to work every day, be a great teammate, the mentality that you need the team more than the team needs you, and so nobody's above the team, and the expectations, and everybody pulling in the same direction. And that, I guess, in a nutshell, is what we're all about.
I get it. Once again, he's in his 17th year as a head coach, the recipient of 3 National Coach of the Year awards, and it fires up once again Thursday. Utah, number 24 in the preseason AP poll. Kyle Whittingham is the head coach there. Kyle, I appreciate you and the relationship. Great to have you back. Thanks so much. Good luck.
Thank you, Jim. Appreciate you having me on.
Always good to have you on, Coach. Kyle Whittingham. They are a physical football team, and he has done a heck of a job there. They open up on Thursday night.